Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, continuing with quiet and comfortable conditions out there today, as this will be our last comfortable day before we move back into more hot and humid conditions as we move over the next several days. Mainly sunny skies out there at the current time and seeing temperatures in the upper 70s. Current surface analysis shows high pressure and control over the area. That's going to help keep things quiet today. We'll see that start to move eastward as we move into tomorrow. That's going to allow for some southwesterly flow to bring back in that heat and humidity, and we'll likely see that sticking around through early next week. If we take a look at our up-level winds from this morning sounding, once again, light winds through the column, a bit variable in the lower levels and becoming more westerly as we get up in the mid and upper levels. The peak wind this morning was 15 knots at 16,000 feet, and our freezing level is right around 17,000 feet. If we look at our current visible satellite, we see just mainly some high clouds, high cirrus clouds across the region. I do expect some cumulus clouds to develop as we get into peak heating later this afternoon with just some scattered clouds around, and that's mainly what we'll expect as we move through the day today. We'll look at the high resolution model, see what we can expect for the next 2 days. Again, as mentioned, some clouds around this afternoon, but things looking dry. We'll see more of a south-southeasterly flow through the day today. And again, as mentioned, southwesterly winds start to build in as we get to the start of the day tomorrow. And we're going to see those temperatures quickly rise, as well as those humidity levels, likely seeing those triple-digit heat indexes return, and a good chance of seeing a heat advisory as we come to our final work day of the week. Going into the evening hours on Friday, we'll have a boundary approaching the area with some shower activity along that. Looks to stay well north of the area, and as it approaches, we will see that shower activity likely fizzling out with just a very slight chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm making it into the local area, but that does look like a fairly unlikely scenario as that activity looks to fizzle out. And as we go into Saturday, we'll once again start off with some partly cloudy conditions and continue with some heat and humidity. Zooming out, look at the European model here for the longer term forecast. We'll see as we move into the later portion of the day on Saturday with that hot and humid conditions and that boundary in the area. Can't rule out some pop-up shower or thunderstorm activity around the region. So just looking at a chance of that. Could see some onshore flow briefly, but still looking at hot and humid conditions. And then moving into Sunday, it looks like we'll have a slightly better chance of some shower and thunderstorm activity popping up during the afternoon as we continue with hot and humid conditions. That continues as we move into early next week, and models indicating your typical daily pop-up activity possible. Looks to be low-end chances right now, but nonetheless, that possibility is there as we continue on this hot and humid weather through the extended forecast here. And as we get into the later portion of the week, we do have an upper level trough that will set up to our north and possibly sink into the local area, and that could provide some relief from the heat and humidity, but a bit too far out to really narrow that down, how far that air mass pushes into the local area. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, looking at green conditions over the next 24 hours, we'll see south-southeasterly winds as we get into the afternoon, peaking around 7 to 12 knots, seeing our high temperature around 85 degrees. Again, as mentioned, just some scattered clouds around through the day today. Chance we'll see a ceiling briefly, but most likely just a scattered deck. Going into the evening, we'll see those clouds on decrease, and we'll see those winds start to turn more southwesterly. Our low temperature expected around 73 degrees, and starting off our day at around 80 degrees for our Friday. Tides running slightly above normal. Extended forecast here, as you can see, hot and humid conditions return with temperatures back into the 90s for tomorrow, and staying right around 90 degrees plus or minus a degree or two as we move through the extended forecast here. We'll pick up our first very slight chance, about a 10% chance we see an isolated shower lingering late tomorrow evening through the overnight hours. Slightly better chance for a pop-up shower storm on Saturday, looking at about a 20% chance, increasing to a 25% chance for Sunday, and then keeping a 10% daily chance for any pop-up activity as we move through the extended forecast here. But again, continuing with some hot and humid conditions over the next 7 days as we get into the end of the week, and continuing on from there. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.